All right, aloha everybody. It is General Greene here, beautiful Maui Booyah. It's very early because I've got great news for you. Congratulations, we are about to break new all-time highs. New all-time highs in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies like my number one pick, XTZ. I'm gonna talk about that Tezos today, how to get ready, how to take advantage, how to profit from this massive historical bull run that we have never seen in the history of the world. Bigger than the dot-coms, bigger than Amazon, bigger than Google stock, bigger than Facebook, bigger than Tesla combined. Bitcoin's total market cap has since skyrocketed to $1.3 trillion plus and growing. And I believe it's going to go to $10 trillion plus independently during this bull market secular run that we're currently in right now. And this is going to be the largest whale alt season that we've ever seen. This is your opportunity to quite literally make millions and millions and millions of dollars in the next few days, weeks, and months. And you'll never, ever get this opportunity again in your entire life. So we're going to talk about all this and more. And then why is this happening? Well, a couple things with Bitcoin. Of course, we had the announcement of the Bitcoin ETFs, which I've always told you would be coming, that the government would actually embrace Bitcoin and crypto. They wanted it because it's a part of moving people and global populations into the new digitization system. And what I've always dubbed, I came up with this term, blockchainification of the entire world. Again, everything is going to be tokenized, every single asset, real estate most importantly. This is the number one opportunity right here because, again, what is the most natural thing to tokenize in the world? Real estate, physical assets, and real assets. But why is Bitcoin pumped? Maybe you're new to this. Maybe you don't understand. Bitcoin was trading at 16K when I recommended it. I recommended it under $1,000 as well years ago. So I want you to think about this. But I also went crazy on camera. I was throwing chairs all over the pool December 2022. That's when Bitcoin was trading at 16K. And that it was precisely the time SBF, who was always an inside deep state plant, you know, the guy of FTX, who was the second largest donor to George Soros, to the Democratic Party and the DNC. I always told you specifically that that was the bottom. And they had planted him there to introduce the regulation. And then, of course, everything that we're currently seeing today with the approval of Bitcoin ETFs and the regulation of the industry that, of course, would mainstream it and then empower BlackRock to stack their bags. This has been my primary mission statement to you because they wanted to steal your wealth and steal your Bitcoin. And that's why I told you to buy Bitcoin at 16K. I told you to buy Bitcoin and crypto under 1,000 when Bitcoin was trading under 1,000. And it's been my primary message over the last 10 years since starting BitcoinRich.com with hundreds of thousands of students around the world. So what we have happening here is we've had Bitcoin Trust, which held billions and billions of dollars worth of assets, which was only a futures ETF. It wasn't spot Bitcoin. It wasn't native spot Bitcoin. We saw once that introduction and regulatory approval was green lit, just like this beautiful shirt here today, because we're pumping so hugely. We've now seen a rotation into the dozens of new exchange-traded funds that have been approved by Wall Street. This means there's not enough Bitcoin to buy because Wall Street is actually the number one buyer of Bitcoin now. It's not retail. So they're scrambling to buy as much Bitcoin as they possibly can, as much crypto. And I'm going to tell you about the next specific opportunity that I think is going to 1,000x today and a whole heck of a lot more. So make sure to like and share this video. They're scrambling to buy all the scarce Bitcoin. Again, they're not making any more Bitcoin. There's only 21 million that will ever be minted. And by 2034, I think it is, in and around there, 99.9% of all Bitcoin ever in its existence will be available to buy. And then from there, there's like 1% or less that will be minted and available to the public, and most importantly, the institutions that run the world. So there's not enough supply, there's increasing institutional demand, and everybody wants their hands on this because now, like I told you, like I predicted, fire all your financial advisors, fire everybody that told you not to buy Bitcoin, never ever listen to them again. I told you by the time Merrill Lynch, by the time Bankrupt of America, by the time Goldman sucks my balls, by the time these too big to fail bailout crony criminal institutions like Citigroup just fired 20% of its employees because its stock price is sinking to zero, by the time they green light it and introduce it to you and say, hey, we want you to buy our Bitcoin ETF, you'll be buying at extreme elevated prices. Now, the good news is we have a whole long way to go in Bitcoin, multiple six figures ahead of us. We have 7+ figures ahead of us. I mean, Bitcoin's going to trade 2 to 3 million plus. We also had a huge announcement, albeit it's somewhat of a rumor, but we know that this is starting to happen among sovereign governments. We've seen this in El Salvador, but there's a huge rumor. We had a very powerful man from Qatar offload his private jet. He's got a beautiful private jet. It's one of the fastest short distance jets in the world. Just land in El Salvador to speak with President Bukele, who has revolutionized his entire economy and is now changing the paradigm, really building, I think, a new Singapore based on Bitcoin. It's going to be absolutely incredible, I think, when they're done with it. But the rumor is that this very powerful man is now buying Bitcoin for the nation state of Qatar. And this will include the entire Middle East and the Saudi money and the Saudi king and that whole area of the world. Now, again, this is massively destabilizing to the USA. And really, this is an act of war. It's an act of freedom. You now have governments around the world that are currently at war with the United States, Russia, Ukraine, we see the Middle East, Hamas, Hezbollah. We're in World War III now. I'll get to those points in a minute. That's, of course, developing. It's another reason why I told you to buy Bitcoin, that Bitcoin would soar during World War III. But we're very much in a destabilizing effect, a new international order and system that is taking place right now. And it's doing a couple of things. It's destabilizing the US dollar. It's creating massive hyperinflation. A lot of you have asked me, Christopher, when does the hyperinflation come? Check your computer screens, guys. Check the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up 50% year to date. If you invested $100,000 in Bitcoin January 1st, on March 4th today, you have over 150K. If you listen to me and took my advice, I have to say it's not financial advice, but you actually took my advice. In December 2022, I was on crutches. I just tore my calf muscle. I told you, this is the title of the video. It's still pinned on my Twitter. I said it would be famous in the coming year when Bitcoin was trading at new all-time highs, like it is about to do today. I said this will be famous. It'll be your last chance to buy Bitcoin at these prices. If you would have listened to me, if you would have taken aggressive action, if you would have bet on yourself, you would have just bought a little bit of Bitcoin. Let's say you bought 100K or something. You'd have 600,000 in your bank account today. Guys, this is the most powerful video that I've probably ever produced. And this has been the most powerful content, really my magnus opus over the last decade, because I've successfully, all glory to Jesus Christ the King. And I love all of you guys tuning in and your amazing success. But we've actually hijacked the system so you could get super rich during economic collapse, hyperinflation, destabilization of the United States of America, collapse of the US dollar, the eradication of fiat currency, lockdowns, no freedom, travel restrictions. I mean, you see all the tyranny today. And the play that I've given you, like a good college coach, or a professional athlete, the strategy that we've put in place has now been proven to be number one in the world today. Islandproject.com. Bitcoin Rich has proven to be the number one strategy in the world. So what am I expecting is going to happen? Well, we're moving into a massive alt season, which is why I've been telling you, buy XTZ. I gave you this for free, by the way. And if you've listened to me, I announced it first privately at the club, but then I just decided to give it away for free. If you've listened to me, in the last month, you're up 50+% because I recommended it under $1. You're absolutely dominating right now in Tezos. Tezos tell you Bezos. You are absolutely dominating. Why did I recommend this pick? Well, number one, it's seriously undervalued. It is a breakthrough layer one technology that, of course, my friend Tim Draper and I have been major advocates of. If you don't know who he is, he's a multi-billionaire. We've been major advocates of Tezos and XTZ for years now because it's a flawless blockchain. It is a layer one with real use cases, which is not at risk of a hard fork ever because it's a self-amendable contract. It even has a very unique feature. I call it stake and bake because you want to become a baker and stake your assets. I've been telling you, you can also stake and earn those quote unquote dividend yields. You're a baby boomer. You're a young guy like myself. You want to make 5-6% yield annually during banking collapse, during World War III, plus 10x, 100x, if not 1,000x your money as alt season kicks off. So we're at the point now where I think Bitcoin will break through like it is doing today. New all-time highs will quickly shoot up 2-3x. I'm expecting really 150K to be the next psychological barrier, not 100K. And again, I joked, we knew that this was going to happen because Tom Brady and everyone took their laser eyes off. The minute I saw SBF the fraud, that deep state plant asset in handcuffs, I told you, buy the dip. Because we understand how the elites work. We understand their shenanigans. We understand their game. We're also seeing MicroStrategy break almost new records. We're seeing Coinbase stock, which I've recommended. It's one of the few stocks I own, about to break new all-time records. So psychologically, a lot of people are fixated on the new all-time high, which is just going to be under 69K. It's like $68,980, something like that. A lot of people are fixated on that, but don't fixate on that. That's not even a big deal. Mentally prepare yourself for 150,000 Bitcoin because I think we're going to quickly 2-3x from the blow-off mania. Now, again, I'm going to caution you too because CNBC is now going to sell you Bitcoin. And there's going to be a massive mania that they're going to push like the .com. These people are criminals. CNBC, the mainstream media, the people that lied to you, told you not to buy Bitcoin, they're criminals. And they're now going to push a massive Ponzi scheme on you. I'm just warning you guys right now. That's why you need to stick with me, listen to what I have to tell you, because I'm going to position all of you to profit from all of this as it occurs, just like I have. My track record, all glory to Jesus Christ the King, has been pretty much flawless. Flawless. So they're going to be pushing this massively. Every talking head, Wall Street's now growing warmer to it. Everyone's kind of starting to understand it's the future, and Bitcoin, it's not a fad. It's actually bigger than Google, Amazon stock, Facebook, Microsoft combined. It'll be bigger because, again, Bitcoin will trade above $10 trillion plus. I've said this for years. You don't even have to sell your Bitcoin. You don't have to sell your crypto. You can securitize it. You can borrow against your Bitcoin. You can buy a house with your Bitcoin. In the future, you will be able to take profits to islandproject.com and buy your individual dream home with your profits and your 1,000x with islandproject.com. A lot of you don't understand this yet. You're like, well, Christopher, don't I need to sell my Bitcoin to get into the fiat? No, you don't want fiat. Fiat is disgusting trash. Why do you think we own all this real estate here in Malibu? It's because we've deployed our assets out of the bank into an asset that's sovereign with diversification, which will also be portable in your hardware wallet because I've designed a blockchain technology to position and leverage that opportunity for all of you guys. You'll be able to move anywhere in the world. and you'll be able to earn revenue and cash flows and large capital gains potential, and you'll be able to pivot, leverage, and profit, not to mention 1000x possible gains, which I believe we're going to do. Because again, I'm always Donut. You guys all know Donut, one of my best friends. I love Donut. By the way, he just celebrated a birthday a couple days ago, and I gave him a buzz. I was so happy to help him celebrate and reign in his birthday. But Donut, my boy, you're my boy, Blue. I love you. I love you, Donut. By the way, I got you some Donut socks in Park City because I'm buying a ski lodge over there. I got you some Donut socks. It was for your birthday, but I haven't seen you yet, so I got to give those to you. They're really cool. But Donut will tell you straight up, and he's brought a lot of people to my channel. If you don't know, Donut actually worked for me for almost a decade and helped me build AMTV. And he's one of the most talented, amazing, he's really a genius, honestly. He's an amazing guy. He's so talented. Now he has this just crazy, amazing platform of his own, which he's just killing it on a daily basis. And I learn a lot from him too. I mean, he's really good in crypto as well. He could have taken more action in the early days, he'll even tell you this. But he always tells me, Christopher, and he'll tell you this too, the public, that I'm always early, which is a huge advantage because I give you guys plenty of time to strategize, to dollar cost average, to place your bets, to get involved into these undervalued assets so you can profit from them big time. Now, where we are today, we're not, in the early stages of Bitcoin, but we are in the very early stages of XTZ. And let's talk about that for a minute. So XTZ is a layer 1 blockchain. It actually owns over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. A lot of you don't know this. So as a part of their treasury, the Tezos Foundation owns over $1 billion with the B of Bitcoin. Now, at the current market cap of just $1.43 billion, the ownership of the Bitcoin it holds in its reserves is almost worth more than its total current market cap in totality. So this thing is so undervalued right now. It's not only a Bitcoin play, but as we run into alt season, all of the big money, including my own, Tim Draper, etc., the billionaire class, they're going to buy the best layer 1s in the world because they're seeking outside returns for their hedge funds, just like we are. And we can think about this, from a retail perspective. They're looking for what's the next 10x? How am I going to 100x? Now that Bitcoin has all this new flush liquidity, it's got $150,000 USD equivalent price. Where is that all that money going to go? And if this is your first secular bull market season that you've ever been, moving into alt season, the way it works, Bitcoin pumps, all the new liquidity comes in, and then all the money flows into alts. So the big boys are moving these candlesticks, ladies and gentlemen. And now retail money is clamped. This is why I'm telling you to get in, because the little guy, you want to get in now. You want to get ahead of BlackRock, like I told you with Bitcoin. You want to get ahead in XTZ. XTZ, I believe, and this is my next short-term price target, is $16+. And the reason for that is it's based on solid fundamentals. It's based on my understanding of the project. Also, the psychology of where investment is going to move to into layer 1s, not just Ethereum derivatives, not just the latest meme, but things with actual use cases that have a solid balance sheet, but also are seriously undervalued and are going to soon, I believe, trade, $50 billion plus in market cap. So you're going to want to focus on layer 1s. And XTZ is the most undervalued, number 1 best layer 1 technology in my opinion. Now you get paid to wait, 5 to 6% yield, while you 10, maybe 100x, maybe 1000x from its current valuation, and you really don't do anything outside of buy it, buy more, dollar cost average, and ride the wave. So it's a massive, massive opportunity. It's my number 1 play. It's my number 1 pick. It's already up over 50%, just like in the last week or two. It's been a huge, massive, explosive move. Now, we also have, I believe, more future developments. You're going to see Ethereum exchange-traded funds approved at some time in the future. You're going to see all the big caps approved. There's also going to be ETFs that mimic, like index funds, entire crypto portfolios, which will include Bitcoin, Ethereum, XTZ, XRP, these various assets. That's the next wave. So the big takeaway here is massive institutional adoption, massive new liquidity, panic of institutions because they're driving these candlesticks right now. Notice we're getting most of the price action during the weekdays now. We're getting pumps over the weekend too. We're getting, huge pumps, but we're getting most of the action, at least with Bitcoin specifically, because the ETFs are the ones driving the candlesticks right now. And they're only open Monday through Friday. They're not working the weekends, typically. Now, alt season's different. Alt season candles, like XTZ, I'm expecting to see 100%, 200% candlesticks, 300% candlesticks, maybe in a single day. Remember when we got those shock moves during the last bull run where you'd wake up on your phone and you were like what? And you were up, 300% on like one of your picks and it just jumped and it just immediately hit it and then it formed a base and then jumped again. That's where we are. So this is absolutely massive, massive news. Now, I've also had some questions. I've got a lot of you huge in the money, obviously, huge in the money since my recommendation to buy Bitcoin and other cryptos in 2022 in December when I was on crutches and throwing chairs in the pool and I told you 16K was the bottom. A lot of you asked me, well, what do I do, Chris? I own 5 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin, whatever it is. Well, because you're up so huge right now, I actually want you to consider taking some profits today. I want you to take 20%, 25% off the table because if you're up 6x already, or you're up 10x or 100x in altcoins, I want you to let the rest ride because we're going much, much higher, but I want you to bankroll those profits today and I want you to put it in a real asset, islandproject.com. Do that now, do it today. And the general told you to do this. I'm telling you to do this right now. Take 25%, cash out, put it into a real asset. You'll get into our tokenization. You've got capital protection, large capital gains potential. You own the best real estate in the world with no bank debt. And it's also being tokenized 1000x. So you get all of that and more. Island Project, because we haven't tokenized yet, that's ground zero. We've already deployed $11 million in capital. We own 3 properties. I'm closing on the 4th, and I'm building a $5.5 million spec home on one of the plots of land over 5 acres or near 5 acres that we currently own in Maui. So that's for my OGs out there that have listened to me. You've profited, you've pivoted, you're up huge. You're wondering as we break new all-time highs, take 25%, sell it today. Deploy to islandproject.com. That's your number one move today. Let the rest ride. Now, psychologically, put your eye and put your mind around 150K because that's what I think is next. So that's my big message today. Those are kind of my big indicator. Those are the levels that I'm looking at. Congratulations to all of you. It's an honor to serve you. And you guys are such a blessing in all my life. In all of our lives, my father included, our whole team, our family and friends. I just want to thank you for all your encouragement and support. And I'm really excited because you guys have a massive opportunity now that you're not going to get again. Now, be very hesitant on what CNBC is going to tell you. Be very hesitant. All these people that told you not to buy Bitcoin, don't listen to them at all. They're going to try to con you and take your Bitcoin. Don't listen to those people. Just be very careful. The only other talking point I can think of today is, of course, I am watching the war overseas. And this is another reason why you need to get into islandproject.com right now, because the short-term trajectory, which we're already in, is not only World War III. The Biden administration just dropped, it looked fake to me though when I saw it. It looked like CGI rendering. I don't know, that's my opinion. Didn't even look real. But supposedly they're dropping a bunch of food and supplies to the Gaza victims, after they bomb them. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, after you decimate their whole population, you're like, yeah, here's some food and water. And like, are you thirsty, guys, after we've been bombing the crap out of Gaza and like taking out 30,000 civilians? Like, no matter what side of the equation you're on, we stand with the people. It's just mind-blowing to me. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing humanitarian efforts after we like bomb the crap out of you and like 30,000 of you are no longer with us. And women and children are just gone and perish forever. But the only reason I'm bringing that up is that that's their Joker card. And like I told you, whether or not this has been predicted by The Economist magazine, through movies, through the war in Ukraine, through all the media programming, the propaganda that they're feeding us, all of it. Just that's where we're going next. And so it's going to be very, very important. You want to protect your gains, is what I'm saying. You want to protect these massive profits because you're going to need them for you and your family in the future. It's going to be vital to your success. It's going to be vital to be putting food on the table. It's going to be vital to your preparation during the collapse of the American empire, the westernized world, and the US dollar collapse, which I've been predicting now for over almost near 20 years. I mean, look at a dollar chart. It's gone straight to zero. It's absolutely worthless. It's why Bitcoin's skyrocketing. Again, every tick higher in crypto, like I predicted, every tick higher in XTZ, every tick higher in islandproject.com only proves my point. It's the end of the fiat spiral to zero. It is the end of an epic, and it's the beginning of a new one. And you need to protect yourself now. It's not just about making money. It's really, I want you to grab all this opportunity right now. I want you to grab all these profits. I want you to lock them in. And this is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you to lock it into islandproject.com. For those of you that are just getting into Bitcoin, just getting into crypto, yes, you should own that stuff. But the number one move should be this. So if you don't understand Bitcoin, you don't understand crypto, but you still want to participate in the cryptocurrency revolution, and you want to get at the ground floor with possible 1,000x rates of return, I have to say, not financial advice, buy this now. 30 units, 100 units, 250 units, up to 1,000 units. Call my dad, 808-442-2934, or text or leave a voicemail if he doesn't pick up. He's getting a lot of calls now that we're breaking new all-time highs. 808-442-2934, and just give them a shout out too. If you're one of our beautiful existing members from over 12 nation state countries, from 25 states in the United States, just give them a shout out and be like, hey, Papa John, the general said, give you a shout out. Just thank you, the incredible work you're doing, especially with all of you that are now realizing this incredible success point in your life, this incredible pivot where you took that aggressive action, you believed in yourself, you improved your life, you 1,000x your mindset, and now the numbers on a screen are just numbers on a screen, but they're proving the point that anything is possible, that if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. If you're not convicted and going all in on yourself, I don't know what you're doing, because you're missing out on the most wild, crazy, beautiful, insane opportunity that the world has ever presented you, and you're not going to get another chance. And so I'll leave you with that. Your actions today are vital. You're not going to get into islandproject.com unless you take beautiful action today. Click the link below and fund your first 30 units. You're not going to get in to islandproject.com. Our 1,000x, soon to be breaking records, tokenization events could be worth billions and billions and billions of dollars. We will 1,000 freaking X what we're doing in the real estate market as Bitcoin reaches new all-time highs, Ethereum pumps to the moon, XRP pumps to the moon, XTZ pumps to the moon. We go to 10 trillion plus market cap. We take over all of big tech. And Bitcoin by itself will exceed the total aggregate market cap of every single major big tech giant in the world, including Apple computers, just like I told you from the very, very beginning. And that is the power that you have today for your own success. And so this is huge. March 4th, 2024. I even got like 16 text messages from some of my existing members. Just, Christopher, oh my gosh, awesome. One of my members says they have another 250K coming in to the Island Project. It's going to put them at 1 million. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. I love you, Brad, and your family. You are freaking amazing. God bless you. That puts you up into the Diamond Nuts category, my man. 1,000 units. Clint just texted me. Ashley, Mac. What's up, Mac? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll do that for you. Wanted some advice on his crypto portfolio. That's another benefit you get as a member. You know, when you're in my world-class project, it's not available to the public. It's private. My members get private access to me and my intelligence, and they get access to blockchain picks, and they get access to my guidance. They get access to my team, like my father. And that's really the beauty of the project, which I think blows people's mind, that we're the ones working with you, our private members, on a daily basis to improve your life. Like our ecosystem, our community really is the baller nation. We are the ballers. And that's what's so powerful in it. When I was game planning all this and developing its strategy over a period of several years before we launched, that's really where I saw the most value, was that, of course, I could just, buy 10 homes myself. I can use my own crypto profits to do that. I could partner, let's say, with another investor, my dad, maybe like 2 or 3 of us, and we could just do it on our own. But that's not as powerful as building a true, beautiful, amazing community of successful people that are all working together in this storm that we're in. Because I love America. I love the United States. I love traditional values. I love God. I love Jesus Christ. I love making disciples. And I realize that it's the small towns, and it was the cowboys, and it was going out west, and it was striking oil or finding gold. That's what built America. And that's what islandproject.com is. It isn't just one individual. It is all of you, ladies and gentlemen. You are the freaking resistance. We're all going to the freaking moon. 1,000 freaking X, baby. That is why we built the digital Noah's Ark. That is why I'm telling you to buy now. That is why I'm telling you to grow those diamond nuts. Take it to 1,000 units now. While you can, lock it freaking in now. In position in the number one layer one tech, XTZ Tezos, before we skyrocket. You have a little time. We've already pumped 50% just in the last week or two. Adam from Phoenix says hello. What is up, my boy? Trisha, I'm not going to tell you who it is. He's another very famous YouTuber. He's also a Christian, giving me a shout out. Wants to do a private call. We can do that. God bless you. Keep up the great work for the kingdom of God. I've got Karina out here, her beautiful son. She's a member of my club. Her son's a professional surfer. Shout out to you, Karina, and your beautiful son. Your very handsome son, I should say. Wonderful surfer, and I've been looking into actually sponsor him here in Maui, Booyah, here with the Island Project, etc. I think that'd be really cool. Something that we are working on, hopefully for the future, because if we're not building the communities of success, nobody is. Also, a shout out to Bob. You know who you are. You're one of my ballers as well. Mike Steele, God bless you, out of Texas. Texas is actually our number one state. I don't know if a lot of you know that, but our number one state for membership of our private members into the Island Project actually is the state of Texas. It is the Freedom Fighters. It's many of you that have been following me for such a long time. You know what I stand for. You know I'm a patriot. You know I love Jesus Christ. You know I've built my life on God. You know I'm not perfect, but I've gotten a lot of stuff right. And that what we're doing is really incredible and worthwhile in these trying times as America collapses and we live through all this, political chaos. And also all of our Hawaiian investors as well here in Maui. Also the Big Island. I'd like to go visit there soon. Kauai and Oahu Booyah as well. Got a lot of pastors in the project, which is really cool. A lot of fathers and sons. I've got I think 5 or 6 pastors now in islandproject.com. That tells you something. And I always tell you too, Everyone always thinks, I'm pitching you. No, I want you guys to be successful. I would just tell you, honestly, just pray about it. If God tells you to invest, listen to him. That's what I do all the time. That's all I've got for today. I love you so much. Monday, March 4th, 7:37, Bitcoin new all-time highs, XTZ to the freaking moon, islandproject.com, 1000 freaking X. Like and share this video. I am the General Diamond Nuts. And I love you. Property 4 is coming, by the way. I've been actively in negotiations on 4 and 5 since we've closed on property 3. Here in beautiful Maui, Booyah, we will soon have near 15 million plus dollars deployed of no bank debt, real estate, best investment class in the world in our diversified portfolio, of course, at islandproject.com. 808-442-2934. That's 808-442-2934. See our terms. I love you. Jesus Christ is Lord.